Welcome to Postcards to the Universe with Melisa Caprio. Do you believe in magic? What if you were told that all you had to do was get a little creative and work a magic spell to bring anything you can imagine into your life? Here on Postcards to the Universe, we will share manifesting, tips, postcards, creativity, abundance, and prosperity. Here is your host, Melisa Caprio.
Hello and welcome to Postcards to the Universe with Melisa, creating the life you crave. Today's going to be a really great show. How's everybody doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Today I have a super cool guest on. Her name is Stephanie Keith, and she is the creator of Law of Attraction Tribe and Manifest It Now app. And we're going to talk about my favorite subject today, manifesting abundance. So for my returning listeners, thank you again for being here with me every week, and I appreciate your emails of how you like my show. It makes me very happy to hear that. And for those of you who are tuning into my show for the first time, I welcome you, and I'm grateful that you're here. And a little about me. I am not only a radio host and podcaster, I am also an author and a photographer, and my book is titled Postcards to the Universe, Harness the Universe's Power and Manifest Your Dreams. And in my book, there are 30 manifesting stories, along with photographs that I took of the contributors manifesting postcards. I include in the book a bunch of writing exercises. It helps us get clear on what we want to manifest. And there's a toolbox full of exercises on how to manifest love, money, health, career, and so much more. And the stories are really cool. I mean, I just love the stories about how people's manifesting postcards became the reality. And today we're talking about manifesting, so it's exciting. So if you're interested in doing inner work, exercises, and reading people's incredible journeys of transformation, inspiration, and manifesting, please go to your favorite bookstore and purchase a copy. Now, each week, for those of you who don't know, I share a magical message that I like to post on Mondays. And it's an image of a manifesting postcard, and I photograph it with its affirmation because I like to focus on affirmations for the week, because I believe using affirmations daily is a powerful way for it to become a new belief in our lives. And this week's magical message is, I attract endless fun. Fun. We could all use more fun in our lives, right? When did we get so serious that we stopped having fun? Yes, life can be stressful and difficult, but it is also supposed to be fun. Children have fun effortlessly, but as adults, we tend to drop fun as a priority in our lives. Think of manifesting as fun. In fact, I'm going to be asking Stephanie when she joins me briefly for some fun tips on manifesting money. We all want more financial abundance, so why not find fun ways to bring that into our life? Why do we always make the time in our day or week for all the have-tos that we need to check off our list, but fun is never added to that list? We all do that. We catch ourselves forgetting to have fun. And studies show that fun has a lot of benefits. It lessens stress, it eases pain, and it helps us cope better. It keeps us young and energized. It makes us more likable. Who doesn't like being around people that are fun, right? It increases us tapping into the flow of life where we're in that vortex space, which is great for manifesting. It makes us smarter, apparently, which I didn't know, so that's always good, because who doesn't want that? And it helps with our memory, so why wouldn't we want to have more fun? Now, this is a suggestion by author Martha Beck on fun. She suggests keeping a cursory fun journal on a calendar, and every day jot down a brief list of your major activities. Give each experience a fun score, with 0 meaning no fun and 10 meaning fun-tabulous. As the days go by, you'll begin to see which activities and people yield the most fun, and you'll be really surprised with what you find. She says her clients almost always find that the activities they think will be surprisingly fun, example, eating dinner at the Ritz, consistently ranks lower than things that have been taken for granted, like, for example, eating Ritz crackers for dinner. Almost all of us can have wonderful fun without nearly as much money, education, beauty, and power as we think we need. So this week, I ask you guys listening to make it a top priority to add more fun to your life. An added benefit to that is the more fun you are having, the higher you are vibrating, and the higher you vibrate, the quicker you manifest abundance. If you want to see my magical messages that I post each week, you can find them across any of my social media platforms, Postcards to the Universe. And if you happen to be on Facebook and are looking for a group to join and feel inspired and see beautiful images and uplifting stories, you can join my Facebook public group called Postcards of Love. Next week, I have Zofia Renea Morales, a transformation alchemist and teacher, and she guides clients to find the gold within their most painful life transitions, helping people from all backgrounds. Seasoned with love and laughter, Zofia guides her clients through their own spiritual crisis and onto their paths of passion, purpose, with warmth, joy, tenderness, and play. So join me next week to hear that. All right, to get to my guest today, Master Manifester, Stephanie Keith. She is the founder and CEO of Law of Attraction Tribe, host of the Law of Attraction Tribe podcast, and creator of the Manifest It Now app, and the author of Trust the Universe. After more than a decade in the corporate world, Stephanie broke free from the 9-to-5 grind to create a life filled with freedom and abundance. She now empowers others to do the same. Her passion is teaching women how to reprogram societal conditioning and trust their intuition to guide them down their most fulfilling path. You can connect with Stephanie on Instagram at Law of Attraction Tribe and find out more at thelawofattractiontribe.com. Welcome, Stephanie. Thanks so much for being here with me today. I'm really excited to talk with you about this.
I'm excited to talk with you as well. Thank you so much for inviting me on the show.
Oh, well, you're welcome. Yeah, I love talking manifesting. So I'm going to let you share your background, a little bit about you and how you got into the manifesting business.
Yeah, so I first learned about manifesting way back in 2009, the same way a lot of people did, which was through the book, The Secret. And basically, I was just getting started in my corporate job, making entry-level pay, living paycheck to paycheck, and had my daughter, Alexis, and my husband was laid off from his job. So we were in a really tight situation. We were living in a really old house that had a lot of things that needed to be updated. And I was holding my perfect little baby and staring out the window as it was raining and seeing that water was leaking in through the window. And I just started thinking, like, how can this happen? There's probably mold in the wall. And I was just like, I've had enough. Like, I need to do better for my daughter. And I was so frustrated because I felt stuck. I felt like I wasn't really sure how to give her a better life. And that's when my mom sent me a copy of the book, The Secret. And it really, like, the moment I opened the book, I knew that I had asked, you know, for help. I'd asked the universe for help. And I felt like this was really my sign of how I was going to do that. And I kept a very open mind. And within 3 months, I manifested my dream home, had everything I wanted. It was in the school district I wanted. I was given a very unexpected promotion at work that doubled my salary. And I was able to send my husband back to school. And basically, like, every area of my life where I had felt really helpless and stuck had turned around. So it was proof for me, for my husband, for my mom, for, like, you know, everyone that was close with me that this actually works. And, you know, I got really good at manifesting money because at that time in my life, I'm like, well, that will just fix all my problems, right? So I got really good at that. But I was very limited in the how, like the how it would happen. And so I kept manifesting money through my 9-to-5 corporate job and did this for a number of years. Just like, you know, many people kind of get stuck in that situation where it truly was like the golden handcuffs. It's like I wasn't really fulfilled in what I was doing, but I was making good money. I had benefits. I had a company car. So, you know, I stuck with it for a while. And on my 30th birthday, it was really a big wake-up call for me because I had reflected on my 20s and realized that outside of being a mom and outside of being a businesswoman, I had no identity. I had no time for myself. I had no time for any interests or hobbies that I had. And I just knew that I didn't want to keep going on this path for another 10 years. I was heading straight towards burnout, having panic attacks. I mean, it got pretty stressful.
Yeah.
And that's when I declared, I'm done. Like I'm going to manifest a life I don't need a vacation from. And really what that meant for me was, you know, being my own boss, making my own schedule, living every day like I was on vacation, doing things I enjoyed, not just living for Saturday and Sunday. So I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I knew that I was really good at manifesting. I loved the law of attraction. I've read so many books on it. So I started the Instagram page. And little did I know at the time that would just take off and eventually turn into online courses, a podcast, now most recently an app and a book. And now I'm happy to say, like, I actually did manifest that, and I'm my own boss. I make my own schedule, and now my mission is to really help other people do the same, because I don't think anyone should be stuck in a life that they're not really fulfilled with.
I love that. I'm so glad that my my affirmation for the week is I attract more fun, because you were having no fun in your life, even though you were making money. I want to go back to what you mentioned, because I love The Secret too. And I think a little bit that was left out of The Secret, both the book and the movie, was, you know, we're being very conscious of our thoughts, obviously, and being in that vibration and everything, but about taking the action steps. So you said after you got the book that you quickly started to manifest. So what did you do emotionally? What were your thoughts? Were you taking action steps? Were you meditating? Were you doing something to help you get into that vibration so that you could manifest those things so quickly?
Yeah, well, I'm so glad you asked this, because it really does line up with what you said about having fun, because that was really the vibration that I stepped into. I mean, the second I read the book, like, I devoured the book, and I called my mom up. She lived 6 hours away at the time, and I was like jumping up and down with excitement. I mean, I went all in, and I was like, this is going to change my life. And luckily, my mom is so supportive, and she was like, I know it will. Like, this is amazing. We're going to manifest together. And so she helped to get me really excited. And so little by little, like, I started doing these little things, manifesting a close parking spot, like little sums of money. And every time it would happen, I would tell my husband, like, oh, see, it's the law of attraction. And he would roll his eyes at me, and he'd be like, oh my gosh, like, here she goes again. And it would like frustrate me. And I was like, okay, I am going to manifest something so big that you have no choice but to believe. And I was like, I'm done with this house. Like, I'm done with the leaky window and the mold and the lead paint and all that stuff. And I'm manifesting our dream home. And just play along with me. I know you don't believe in it, but let's just have fun with it. Like, we love looking at houses. Let's just, like, you know, just play along, humor me, and it'll be a fun experience. And he's like, okay, like, yeah, I'll go look at houses with you. So the action step we took was we made a list of everything we would want in our dream home. And I even threw in there, like, the most random, like, I wanted this, like, a bonus room that had, we could turn into, like, a playroom and a workout room and an office, like, all in one. And so we had fun, like, making this list. And then I actually did call up a realtor, and I gave her the list, and she was like, yeah, we don't have that here, because we were in, like, a very rural community. She's like, I think you would have to build a house to get, like, a loft or a bonus room, but, you know, I'll see what I can do. And she was great. Like, she was so positive and showed us all these different houses. And my husband started getting into it. Like, we were truly having fun. Like, we would walk in and we'd be like, okay, where do we want to put the furniture? Like, this and that. But every house that we saw, it was like, okay. It wasn't like it lit us up. It was like, okay, like, maybe this would be a good one. And then something would always happen, like someone would put a bid in right away, or, just something like that. And one day I came home from work and my husband was like, I found the house. And he was searching on Zillow, and he found this house that had everything, incling
The
a bonus room.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
they had a little girl, so everything was like decorated for a little girl. And
I love it.
yeah, and of course, like the price wasn't listed. So we called the realtor. She's like, yep, we'll go there tomorrow. She got us in the house. The moment we walked in, we were like, this is it. This is the house. Like, we could just feel it, and we got really excited about it. And, we were talking to her, and she told us the price, and it was way out of our budget. But she was like, just go talk to the bank and just see, like, what you need, so at least you know what you have to work with. And so we needed $30,000 extra as a down payment, which was what I was making in an entire year at the time. And, we were like, let's just not get frustrated. If it's meant to be, it'll be. And like, we every day would drive to the house, like we were driving home from work, going to our new house.
Yeah.
And anyhow, we ended up manifesting exactly $30,000.
Of course.
That we needed within like 2 weeks. And we were able to get the house. And it happened in a very strange way that we never would have imagined. But that's, we took the steps, and we got the realtor, and we went to the house, and we put ourselves in the scenario. And most importantly, we were having fun with it and holding that really positive vibration.
That's it. You were in the vibration, and that's why it attracted for you so quickly. And you had your husband to do it with you, so that's perfect. So we're already at our first break. So let's take our break now, because I have tons more I want to ask you about manifesting abundance using the law of attraction. So guys, stay tuned, and we'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Conscious media for conscious minds. OMTimes. Host your show on IOM-FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM-FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Hi, I'm Melisa Caprio from Postcards to the Universe, creating the life you crave. Do you believe in magic? What if I told you all you had to do was get a little creative and work a dream spell to bring anything you can imagine into your life? Well, guess what? I've got the spell for you. Postcards to the Universe, a global movement for manifestation, is a casting magical tool for you to use whenever you want. How does living in passion sound to you? Join me in my movement where you get to create in the magical playground. Let's think outside the box and do some playful conjuring. By casting out our desires with a manifesting postcard, we explore our hearts and allow the alchemy of our dreams to appear. And don't forget to tune in each week here on OMTimes Radio with my show, Postcards to the Universe, creating the life you crave at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I share tips on creativity, abundance, and prosperity, and you will be introduced to the coolest guests, trailblazers, mystics, and creatives who enrich our lives.
My name is Victor Furman. Some call me The Voice. I've always been fascinated with human nature, spirituality, science, and the crossroads at which they meet. Join me Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio, and we'll explore these topics and so much more on Destination Unlimited.
The rainbow is God's promise of hope for you and me. And though the clouds hang heavy and the sun we cannot see, we know above the dark clouds that fill the stormy sky, hope's rainbow will come shining through when the clouds have drifted by. Teresa Caprio is the president and founder of Rainbow Guardian Inc., a nonprofit 501c3 serving the intellectually challenged/developmentally disabled, including autism. Teresa started the foundation in 1995 so she could help make a better life for her intellectually challenged daughter. Her dream is that the Rainbow Guardian will provide the necessary tools and education to help the public understand the special needs population, because it's often discarded in mainstream society. To find out more or make a donation in support, please go to www.rainbowguardian.org. Rainbow Guardian's special mission is to see these unique people live a happy, full life and have a future of liberty and equality.
Welcome back. So if you're just joining me today, I have Master Manifester Stephanie Keith on. She is also an author and the founder of the Law of Attraction Tribe, and she's also the host of the Law of Attraction Tribe podcast and the creator of the Manifest It Now app. So Stephanie, thanks again for being here. So before the break, we were talking about after you you kind of like everything in your life was good, but you were feeling unfulfilled, and you got a hold of this secret, and you got this idea about manifesting. And I love the fact that you kind of took it and ran with it. You manifested your dream home with your husband, which is, in 3 months, especially being new to it, that's really good. So you must have really been tapped into that energy. You must have been super conscious of where you were emotionally, right?
Yeah, I absolutely was. And I went into it with the idea that anything is possible. Mm-hmm. And, I really try to encourage people to do that. Like, look at it as a science experiment, like a scientist isn't going to go in it with a bias. They're going to go in and they're going to try it out and look at the results. And so it's really important to keep an open mind, because if you have kind of that skepticism and that doubt, it can really hinder you from manifesting the things you want. And of course, like I said, I got my husband on board, and that's always helpful. If you have, whether it's a spouse or a friend or like a community of like-minded people that'll support you on that journey, I think it makes it so much more fun, and you can really get into that good vibration because you have other people to share it with. And when that doubt does creep in, you have other people there to kind of help lift you back up. So that was a big reason why I started the app, was just so that people could find other people that are into the law of attraction, that are trying to manifest their best life. And they wouldn't have to go in it alone, because not everyone's significant other is like going to go through this with them. So it's just important who you surround yourself with.
Yeah, I agree with you. Being around like-minded people is important. You don't want to be around the people that are always boo-hooing everything that you're doing, or telling you can't do that, or that's not going to happen for you, because it bursts your bubble. So you want to share your dreams and desires with the people that support you, and then says, yeah, why not? Why can't you have that? Who says that? Of course you can. It's possible. I like the fact that you said just go in open-minded, that anything is possible. And what I love about it too is usually it shows up for you, like you said, like in crazy ways, like ways that you couldn't even imagine. I'm always like, when I tell people who are creating the postcards, I'm like, don't be so rigid and it has to show up this way, because if it usually doesn't show up the way you're going to expect, and then what starts to happen is you're doubting that it's coming, and that's blocking it from coming, right? Or you're not seeing the other ways the universe is trying to get it to you, because you're looking left when the universe is over there on the right trying to show it to you over here, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, and I kind of fell into that for a while, because I had my blinders on, I wanted to manifest money, but the only way that I knew of in my experience was through my 9-to-5 job. Right. And so that's the only way I kept manifesting money, until I finally realized that by focusing and for me worrying about how it's going to happen is actually limiting myself to only that one way, where, the universe can see the big picture. It can see what we can't see. And it's not your job to worry about the how. Like, let the universe handle that. Like, your job is to hold the vision and the vibration. And I've found that when I can do that, things manifest a lot quicker, a lot easier. And just like you said, like in ways that I never would have thought that it would all play out. So it's really important to just not get caught up in the details of how it's going to happen and just listen to your intuition. And when you get inspired to do something, to take a particular road towards something, to act on something, then do it. But don't get caught up in the how, because that'll really get you stuck.
Oh, yeah, that'll totally get you stuck. Well, one of the biggest influences for me personally in this learning about the law of attraction was Louise Hay. And I've read all of her books, and I just loved her. I listened to her all the time. And she said something that was really interesting about manifesting. And she said, think of it as like when you go to a restaurant. You sit down in a restaurant, you're with your friends, you have your cocktails or whatever, your drink, you're having a great conversation, and you place your order. Right? You're not thinking about what the chef is doing in the kitchen. How are they going to make my food? When is it going to, you know what I'm saying? Like you're not there.
Right.
So if you think of it as you placed your order and the universe is the chef, don't worry about it. Place it. Be in that great space, that high vibration, and allow the universe to bring your order right to you, because that's what happens. And that kind of always stayed with me when I catch myself, because we're human. Oh, God, why hasn't this happened yet? You know, and I have to remind myself, okay, you know, divine time. And I also say divine timing. Divine timing. It's coming. I have faith. It's coming. I'm not going to worry about it. And it shifts my vibration back up so I don't get into that negative, well, it's not going to happen kind of space, which a lot of people find themselves, understandably so. The more attached to something, right? We're more likely to, without even realizing it, set up blockages because we're like, when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? You know, instead of like that parking lot, the parking space. You're not that attached to getting a front parking space. So that's why it comes so easily. Right.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. My daughter was asking me that the other day, because I mean, I've talked with her about the law of attraction for a long time, and kids are really good at manifesting, you know, because they're just so open and their imagination is still working really well. But she's like, why is it that whenever I want something really small, like a new shirt, for example, I manifest it like right away? But then the bigger things, you know, it takes longer. And I was like, because you're not attached to it. You don't really care that much if you get the shirt or not. So it's that ease, that, you know, just not, like you said, just placing your order and then not really thinking about it or worrying about it. We don't cling on to it like with desperation, like we do some of our bigger goals. But I love that because, you know, as human beings, we tend to like really overcomplicate things. So I think that's such a great idea to just go back to the basics of like, okay, I'm placing my order at the restaurant and now my job is done for now. Like, let's let the chef cook it.
Yeah, exactly. It always stuck with me, and I just absolutely, it resonates. So it's a good reminder. So for you guys who are listening to the show today who know about manifestation and are working on the law of attraction, you know, try to think about it like that. But for those, maybe you can give a brief explanation what manifesting abundance is using the law of attraction, because there may be those listening who didn't hear about The Secret, have no idea what this is, and they may be thinking, what are they talking about? What does that mean? Can you explain it?
Yeah, so basically, manifestation is basically just bringing your desires into the physical reality. And so you mentioned Louise Hay using the restaurant example. The example that I always think of is like ordering something on Amazon. So it's like when you go on Amazon and you go to order something, you don't just click on anything. I mean, you get really specific about what you want, the color you want, you pick out all your specifics before you put it in the cart. And that's really how you need to look at what you want. You need to get really clear, because a lot of times we think we know, but when you're asked about the details, things become a little bit fuzzy. Like if you want to manifest a dream home, like, you know, that was my big thing that I wanted to manifest. Some people just say, well, I want a bigger house. Well, what does that mean? Like, what does that look like? Where is it located? Is it 5 bedrooms? Is it 10 bedrooms? Is it a condo? Is it a house? You know, like really get specific, because the universe cannot put together your order if it has no idea what you're asking for. So I like to think of it like, you know, when you're looking on Amazon, I like to think of it as like when you're placing your order with the universe, you're like shopping through the catalog of life, and you get to pick out what you want and add it to the cart. And it's like when you check out and you purchase something on Amazon, you don't like worry about whether or not it's coming to you.
Right.
You know that you already own it. Like you already like used your credit card and paid, and it's yours, even though it's not in your hands yet, right?
Yeah,
and that's really how you have to look at manifesting. It's like, yeah, you don't have it in your hands yet. It's not in your physical reality. If you want to manifest money and your bank account is still at zero, that can cause people to get a little worried or anxious or frustrated, but you have to look at it as, I already placed my order, I already checked out, and now I just have to wait for it to be delivered to me. And so having that mentality, that acting as if you already have it. Yeah. And by doing that, it's like, well, you want to manifest more money. Okay, what would the wealthiest version of you do? And more importantly, like, how would she be? Like, how would you show up? What would your energy be like? What would your thoughts be like? And most importantly, how would you feel? And if you can really align your thoughts with the feeling and hold on to that for as long as possible, that's really like the magic formula, right? It's like your thought combined with the feeling of having it over time is what's going to help you bring it to reality.
I love that. Who would you be? Like, who would you be with that money that you want to manifest? I really like that, thinking of it like that. And with the way that I do it, like, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Say what you were going to say.
Oh, no, I was just going to say in our society, it's like we're always focused on like do. Like, what do I need to do? How do I need to do it? When do I need to do it? And if we can really shift that do to being, like you're not doing, it's just a state of being. It's really an energetic vibration. And if you can shift your thinking to that and you can tune into that, that makes all the difference. And like that's when you become the person that has that, and that's when you attract those things to you.
Yeah. And that's why I got inspired to create the postcards, having people make manifesting postcards, because when they're sitting down with all their arts and crafts and pictures of what it is that their life would look like, since we're using money as the person who has that kind of money, would it your house? Would it be vacations? Would it be jewelry? Whatever. It doesn't matter. The car you have. People get really excited about creating it visually. So what they're doing is they're tapping into that creative energy of manifesting, of being in that space with, let's use money, with having financial abundance. So that's what I love so much about doing it through the postcards, because I'm a visual artist at heart. That's my background. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. I feel like creativity is sort of like the thing that really connects us with the universe. It's kind of like it makes our antenna really have that strong connection where inspired ideas will just come right to us very easily. And, you know, I think everyone is creative. I think there's a lot of adults that don't think that they're creative, but we all still have creativity in us. It's just at some point in time, society told you not to waste your time on that. Get serious. Focus on the future. Focus on this or that. But it's still there. You still have it, and you can tap into it at any time. So I love that you have the postcards, because that's such a great way for people to get back in touch with that creativity that maybe they haven't, used in a while.
Yeah. I mean, in creativity, people think, oh, that means I have to be an artist. And no, it doesn't. You don't have to be a traditional oil painter to be a creative person. You can be creative in how you dress and how you style your home and how you cook your food and how you are with your friends. There's always millions of ways to be creative. And the creative energy is such a high vibration. And that's what you're talking about and I talk about, is vibrating at a level where we're the energetic match for what it is we want to bring into our life. And that's really what it is. Because if I'm saying, I want $10 million in my bank account, let's just say $10 million in my bank account, but And the back of my mind, there's a niggling thing saying, well, you're not worth having $10 million. It doesn't matter what I do. The 10 million is not going to come because I don't believe I'm worthy of it. Or I'll say that, or if I said that could never happen, well, then the universe says, okay, that's true. It'll never happen because that's what you were really believing. I'm not vibrating. I'm not a match for that $10 million. And that's why so many lotto winners lose their money. They can't hold on to it. Did you know that? It's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. And, actually, like a lot of people, when they go to state like their big goal, like your big life goal, like let's say it is, $10 million or whatever, before they even get finished with the statement, they're already saying something like, oh, yeah, right, that would never happen.
Right.
So it's like we can't even allow ourselves for a few minutes to get in that vibration and really think of it as a possibility. It's like we knock it down right away. And so it's just kind of funny, and if you pay attention to what people are saying, you'll see people say stuff like that all the time. And they're like, they have no idea. They're immediately blocking it by not even opening themselves to the possibility of it happening.
Yeah. Do you have tips that you talk to, because I know you said you teach like workshops, right, and courses and stuff. Do you have tips to help us, we'll keep with the money theme, like a smaller goals, like imagine you have an extra $500 in your bank account, and just kind of sit with that, because I think somebody can imagine that, easier than the 10 million, let's say. And I want you to share with us, because we're going to be coming up to a break here in just like a few seconds. So why don't you share with us some of those tips that we can do on a daily that will help us manifest some more money in our lives, if you don't mind? Is that good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, perfect. All right, guys, stay tuned, and we're going to be back in just a couple minutes.
The Real Conscious Connection. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. OMTimes Magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. OMTimes, co-creating a more conscious lifestyle.
Imagine yourself being transported to India, to the banks of the Ganga and an ashram in Rishikesh. Visualize that you are welcome to satsang with an American sannyasi who shares the wisdom of her guru. Your visualization has manifested. Join Sattvi Bhagawati Saraswati for inspiration and transformation every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio.
Hi, I'm Melisa Caprio from Postcards to the Universe, creating the life you crave. Do you believe in magic? What if I told you all you had to do was get a little creative and work a dream spell to bring anything you can imagine into your life? Well, guess what? I've got the spell for you. Postcards to the Universe, a global movement for manifestation, is a casting magical tool for you to use whenever you want. How does living in passion sound to you? Join me in my movement where you get to create in the magical playground. Let's think outside the box and do some playful conjuring. By casting out our desires with a manifesting postcard, we explore our hearts and allow the alchemy of our dreams to appear. And don't forget to tune in each week here on OMTimes Radio with my show, Postcards to the Universe, creating the life you crave at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I share tips on creativity, abundance, and prosperity, and you will be introduced to the coolest guests, trailblazers, mystics, and creatives who enrich our lives.
Coping-19, brought to you by CDC and the Ad Council.
If you're feeling increasingly lonely right now, you're not alone. It's totally normal. Even though we may not be able to get together in person, connecting virtually with friends and family still gives you a chance to interact with people and may help raise your spirits. Join a virtual book club, set up group text chats, or online video coffee breaks with coworkers.
Find more self-care and coping tips at coping-19.org.
Welcome back. So, Stephanie, before the break, we were using money, for example, for manifesting. And nowadays, there's more and more billionaires. So maybe you want to be a billionaire, right? Not just a millionaire anymore.
Yeah. That's right. The money keeps increasing, right?
Exactly. So you can't imagine what a billionaire, feeling like a billionaire is. So how do we start small so that we can work up to what it is our ultimate money abundance looks like and would feel like?
Yes, you have to pick things that you can wrap your mind around. If you try to take too big of a leap, like you've only ever made, let's say, $50,000 a year, to leap to $50 million a year is like unbelievable, right? Like you're not gonna be able to wrap your mind around that. So every week on Instagram, I do this like manifestation game where it's like, today I'm going to manifest an additional $500, or this week I'm going to manifest an extra $1,000, because those are amounts that most people can wrap their mind around, right? And it's so incredible, because I always tell people, like, write it down, say it out loud, affirm it. And I get so many messages from people that are like, I did it and it worked. Like the other day, this girl, it was $500. And she's like, so I did that in the morning, and I go home and my mom hands me a check for $500 from the insurance company that somehow, like, I overpaid, and it was exactly $500.
Wow.
I had one of the girls on my podcast was saying that she had to take her bunny to the vet, and the bill ended up being $900. And she's like, I'm not even going to freak out about it. I'm just going to manifest the $900. And her husband ended up finding this bank account that they had started like way back when they first got married, and then never really like contributed to, like they just kind of forgot about it, but it had $902 in it.
Oh, that's
so it's
I
like,
love stuff. Yeah.
Back to like, you don't really need to worry about how, but you can just have fun with it and think about it as a game. Like I call it like the manifestation game, and just affirm it and let the money come in, and it'll be fun to see all the various ways in which you manifest these small sums of money. And once you do that, I feel like it really helps people realize, okay, this works, and I do have the ability to manifest what I want. And it kind of gives you that confidence to then increase the amount to something bigger. Another thing that I love is, like, we have so many limiting beliefs around money. I think everyone does, regardless of what your income is. I'm sure you have beliefs that you grew up with, that you heard from your parents or teachers or just society in general, that saying money is hard to make, or there's never enough, or whatever. So what I've gotten into in the last year is subliminal messaging. And, this is something that has been used in kind of a sneaky way by companies for a long time to get people to buy products. And I thought, well, if they're using it to kind of like manipulate behavior in a sneaky way, what if I could help people use it to manipulate their life in a positive way, to kind of like teach their subconscious that they actually can manifest money easily and they are worthy of receiving it. And so I started playing around with that and making subliminal audios. And it's incredible, because it's basically, you take affirmations and you speed them up and loop them so that, in like a 1 hour audio, you're hearing like 900 affirmations.
Oh, I love that. Really, is that your Manifest It Now? Is that your Manifest It Now app?
Yeah, it is in the app. There's a whole subliminal library. So
because that's what I wanted to talk about, your app, because I love it. I love the idea of your app. So, that's awesome. I love that. I listen to a lot of those before I fall asleep, as I fall asleep at night.
Oh my gosh, they're so incredible when you're going to sleep at night, because you're back in that theta state where your subconscious is like very open to suggestion. So it's really great. And all you consciously hear is music, like nice meditation music, very calming, but your subconscious is getting all of these affirmations. And while you're getting a good night's sleep, your subconscious is really hard at work, like processing everything from the day. So what happens is if you have these particular affirmations around money, for example, as it's processing the day, it's going to have that at the forefront, and it's going to look for opportunities in your environment that align with making more money. And it's really powerful because it's like our conscious mind only processes about 2,000 bits per second. Our subconscious processes 200 billion bits per second. So there's like a lot of things in our environment that we just absolutely like have no idea about. But if you start tagging something like money, for example, as important because this affirmation is constantly playing, your subconscious is going to remember that. And then the next time in this 200 billion bits per second, it sees something that aligns with that, it's going to process that for your your conscious mind. And that's when all of a sudden you start seeing all kinds of opportunities. And it's not that the opportunities didn't exist before, you just weren't aware of them. You didn't see them. And so it's a really powerful practice, and it's so easy, you know. It's like you don't have to consciously do anything. You just put music on as you're working or like you said, as you're going to sleep, and let your subconscious do all the heavy lifting.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love it because in your app, you have it different areas of your life and different things that you may want to be working on, correct? That people can choose from?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
they could do, you know,
cool.
if they want to build confidence, if they are maybe going through a health issue and they want to listen to health subliminals. It's pretty much every topic, and then every month I'm adding more to it. So it's becoming a pretty robust library of subliminals just based on whatever your goals are.
Yeah, I love it. It's really good. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
So I just want to tell people listening, you can download it if you have an iPhone or an Android phone, and you just go to the App Store and it's there, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Just download it, and there's all kinds of rituals and practices. And then you also have the opportunity to join. It's called the Inner Tribe Manifesting Membership. And that's where we get on Zoom calls together, and we, kind of walk through everything as a community, as a group. Because like I said earlier, if you have that support of like-minded people, I just feel like it helps you move through things so much easier. But yeah, we have all kinds of fun, like every meditation type of practice or tool. And what I always try to tell people is like, pick whatever feels good for you. I think that, as human beings, we really overcomplicate things sometimes. And there's so much out there right now on manifestation. So it's like, find one or two things that really light you up and help you get into that good energetic vibration, and go with those and leave the rest. Because at the end of the day, it's all about how you feel and your energy. So pick things that are going to help lift you up. And one other like really fun practice that I enjoy is just like, you can make up your own rules for money. So it's like, we have all these limiting beliefs that we grew up with, but you can decide that, like, you know what? I don't want to believe that making money is hard. I want to believe that the more fun I have, the more money I earn, you know, and that can become like your mantra. And like, I've done that before, and now it's so true. Like when I just relax and I'm at ease and I'm having fun, good opportunities flow my way.
Yeah, definitely.
Another rule I made at one point in time was every time I go to sleep, I wake up to more money. And it's
I like
still
that.
true to this day.
I may take that one.
Yeah.
I like that one.
I mean, it's like at the time, I just had a little book on Amazon, like a workbook. And every morning I would wake up and someone bought the workbook. So, it's pretty incredible. It's like you can just make these fun mantras, and it kind of boosts your mood too and gets you in that kind of playful, energetic state. So just like have fun with it and know that there's really no limits. It's just the limits that you place. That's it.
Yeah, no, I really like that. Every day I wake up with more money. Yeah, I found what was very helpful for me was identifying what my money story is and where, so I
Hmm.
knew where my money story came and where it comes from. And of course, it was inherited, right, from my parents, the money
Yep.
story. So once I was really clear about my money story, I was able to shift it. And that made a big difference for me personally. And your money story may
Yep.
be we have just enough to get by, or we're just going to make the bills, or if it's money is the root of evil, well, you want to shift that, because if you think money is evil, you're certainly not going to manifest it, right? Because nobody wants that in their life. So finding your money story, I found, is really powerful, identifying that. You don't have to stay there too long. You just go, oh, I know what it is. Okay, I see. All right. Well, now I'm going to shift that and do this, this, and this. And some of the things that you mentioned is I really, really love, which is because we all want more money. There's nobody that I could ask that I know. If I said, do you want more
Right.
money? And they said no, I would be shocked. I would feel like
Yep.
everybody wants more money, right? Because we want to have more abundance to do more of the things that we enjoy, and as we should. We only have like 5 minutes left, so I don't want to not talk about your book. So your book, Trust the Universe, Powerful Methods for Positive Manifestation and Raising Your Vibration, is an inspirational guide to manifesting your dreams and turning your desires into reality. So when did your book come out? Does your book have a lot of these exercises for us too?
It does. Yeah, it just came out like 2 weeks ago. So it's brand new.
Congratulations. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Yeah, I'm so excited. I mean, you know how it is. It's like a
Mhm.
long process. So, I mean, I wrote
Mhm.
it over a year ago, but it's finally here. And
Yes, I
that's
do know
really what
that.
I wanted to do is make sure that every single chapter has an actionable practice that you could
Mhm.
do in your real life. Because I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of great ideas out there, but then we
Mhm.
close the book and we forget about them
Mhm.
and we go right back to
Yeah.
our same old routines. So I really wanted to generate like different practices that people could do after each chapter and kind of let
Mhm.
that digest and seep into their subconscious. So it's really fun. There's like little meditations, and I
Mhm.
really tried to simplify it. Just get it
Mhm.
down to the level where we don't overthink it. It is
Mhm.
simple. It doesn't have to be hard. That's just another limiting belief that isn't true.
Mhm.
We can manifest things with ease, and that's really the purpose of this book, to just help bring it back to the basics, help people get to that energetic vibration of
Mhm.
manifestation so that it becomes like second nature, going
Mhm.
through it. And, it takes you through a lot of the inner work, because at the end of the
Mhm.
day, if you don't truly believe it's possible, it's not
Mhm.
going to manifest. So a lot of this really does take you inward to shift all those beliefs, make those changes, and just bring awareness to them. Like you said, you don't have to live there or stay there too long, but just bringing awareness of what's
Mhm.
going on
Mhm.
internally is really going to make all the difference, because then you have the choice to choose differently, and you don't have to keep the same old beliefs that your parents had or your grandparents. You can
Mhm.
consciously choose to change them and manifest a completely new life that doesn't have all these limitations that
Mhm.
we've been accustomed to believe.
Yeah, yeah, and I love the idea of it, and I love that you have actionable steps that people can take. I wanted to do that in my book too, so I thought that was really important. And it just sounds great, and I'm really excited for you, and I wish you God so much luck with it. And people need to be reading these kind of books, because I think once we work on ourselves individually and we change and shift our own energy, that makes others around us want to do the same, right? And that's just going to make the world a better place, because if we're all happy in this planet, then we would have a much different earth than we have right now, right?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
quickly,
Yeah.
quickly, I want to say you have a podcast, and your podcast is titled the Law of Attraction Tribe Podcast. Do you have guests on your podcast that you interview talking all about the law of attraction? How does your podcast work?
Yeah, so there's a lot of solo episodes that are like 20
Mhm.
minutes or less and really just simplify manifestation. And then I do some guest interviews. I've actually just started doing that. The full interviews go into the app. And then I usually just do snippets for the podcast because I do like to keep it a little bit on the shorter side, just for people that are in a hurry and don't have a lot of time. But you can always find all of the full interviews in the app. And I would love to interview you as well. So
anytime you let me know, just reach out. I love being on the other end. Well, it has been such a pleasure having you and talking about manifesting and the law of attraction, because this is what I love to talk about. So guys, if you're listening and you resonate with Stephanie, which I know that you will, you have to check her out. Go to her website, thelawofattractiontribe.com. That shows you where her book is, and that shows you her app, Manifest It Now, which is a must-have, especially if you want to shift your life. I'm telling you, I'm serious. It's really important work. So thank you so much, Stephanie, for being with me today. I really, really appreciate it. It's been wonderful having you.
It was so much fun coming on. I really appreciate it. And we'll stay in touch and talk very soon.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, guys, thank you for listening to Postcards to the Universe with Melisa, creating the life you crave. And I'm wishing everyone a wonderful week filled with joy, abundance, and love. Peace.